To the motion for passage, Senator from Pike, you were the first to stand.
Speak to the bill, Mr. President.
Please proceed.
Thank you. I rise to speak in opposition to Senate Bill 5. It's not something that I do so lightly. I have the highest respect for the Senator of Clay and for many of the bill's co-sponsors and many of the folks in this room that will vote for this bill today. Despite my many strong disagreements with them on this particular bill, they are good people, but they are good people who are going to vote for a bad bill. Senate Bill 5 is a solution looking for a problem. It is an overreaction to a pandemic, a plague that has been thrust upon us by a foreign nation, a plague that has caused over 500,000 deaths in the United States of America, that has cost this country countless businesses, has closed schools, harmed education, and in many ways changed life as we know it. More importantly, it has caused many overreactions within the past year by governmental entities. Here in this Commonwealth, we have lost countless businesses that were closed down based on bad advice in the hopes of avoiding greater catastrophe. It has devastated the business community in my region. I can think of 3 restaurants off the top of my head that have closed as a result of this pandemic. While the goal of Senate Bill 5 is laudable, providing protections for our businesses, it really gives them no protections at all. And in fact, it could even expose them to greater liabilities by providing them with a false sense of security. Let me first talk about Senate Bill 5's constitutional problems. First, it changes the standard of negligence in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. It creates a higher standard of negligence for premises of essential services versus premises of non-essential services during a pandemic. It basically states that negligence on the premises of these essential services will be subjected to a different standard, thus creating a dual track. I believe that will not hold up if it goes to our state's highest court. Second, it is retroactive to March 6th, the date of the governor's first executive order regarding this pandemic. Retroactivity is not something looked upon lightly by courts within the Commonwealth of Kentucky, particularly when it comes to constitutional rights. I believe that if this provision is challenged, it will be that this part of the bill will be struck down, thus providing another false sense of security to our state's businesses. In addition, it places the burden upon an injured person who seeks to recover from an essential services for an injury that is done to them, the duty of demonstrating gross negligence. In cases where gross negligence is alleged, typically a broader form of discovery, production of documents, depositions, development of evidence is permitted. This is costly. This will cause businesses to have to expend more money defending these lawsuits rather than giving them the protections that they're looking for. And perhaps most importantly, in attempting to prove gross negligence, it could void the very insurance policies that we have in the Commonwealth of Kentucky that protect these businesses and individuals from personal judgments in the event of a lawsuit. Senate Bill 5 attempts to provide protections for our businesses, but instead, I feel that it provides a false sense of security. Now let me get to my philosophical problems with Senate Bill 5. I've been a lifelong Republican, a member of a party which was founded on the principles that every life is of value, smaller government is better government because it is closest to the people. Senate Bill 5 devalues certain lives within the Commonwealth of Kentucky by creating a class of people who are protected and sacrificing other people who don't receive protections but yet may be injured by the actions of the protected class. Those businesses that receive these protections are deemed essential by the governor. But what does that mean? I think on Section 5, Paragraph 3, that essentially is any business deemed essential by the governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Let's talk about a few of the businesses that Governor Beshear deemed essential during this past pandemic. You know, the liquor business. So, a beer truck driving to deliver its beer is essential during this pandemic. As it goes to the liquor store, he looks at his cell phone, runs a red light, kills a medical professional with a family, deprives them of years and years of income. Now, is looking at your cell phone negligent? Yeah, it is. You shouldn't do that. Is it grossly negligent? No, I think it's something that anybody in this room, if they're honest with themselves, can say that they've done probably on more than one occasion. Now, should that large company and that driver receive the protections from liability and that family forced to bear the burden of that loss simply because the governor declared them essential? I just don't think that that's the direction we need to go. I don't think that it places the burden of loss on the, I think it places the burden of loss on the party least able to bear it. Secondly, this bill creates, in essence, a big government court system. It essentially says we as a legislature don't trust people in our communities to make the right decision on whether somebody should recover or not. You know, as a Republican, I want my friends and neighbors to decide who's worth more. If they decide it's the beer truck, or if they decide it's the doctor that makes a mistake during surgery, I can live with that. You know, they have to come down the street and they've got to look me in the eye. But I don't want 138 people here in Frankfort making that decision for the people in my hometown. My colleagues, I feel that a vote for Senate Bill 5 is grossly negligent, and we would be liable for the damages that it could occasion, albeit unintended, both to businesses of this Commonwealth who will be given a false sense of security and to our constituents whose lives Senate Bill 5 has the potential to harm. Again, I know lawyers are an easy target. In many ways, we're our own worst enemy. Okay? I've seen the disgusting commercials. I'm not proud of those. There's bad actors in every profession. But there's a lot of really good lawyers out there who stand up for the downtrodden, who are willing to put their capital, their working lives, time away from their families out there to make sure that those injured see redress. And I consider that a noble profession. We need to give our businesses protection. I must respectfully disagree with the Senator from Clay regarding the appropriate way to do that, and I do mean respectfully. He has heard me out through this entire time. We just couldn't get to an agreement, and that's fine. He's a great person. In fact, he's represented many people through the years. But I urge you to vote no on this bill. I think it has the potential to do great harm while providing our businesses with a false sense of security, which in many ways is even worse than no security at all. Thank you very much, Mr. President.